mathematicians, and welcome to Frostpunk. Now, this is going to be a different game from what I usually play. You usually see me on Pokemon. But you know what? I decided to do a little something different. You know, a little walkthrough, let's play of Frostpunk. In particular, we're going to do the new home scenario. It's basically the main story. And if anyone has ever played this, you pretty much know what's going to happen. This is going to be a frozen desert wasteland. We're going to be trying to power everything via steam, via the generator. Now, we're going to do things a little bit differently. First of all, we're going to crank some of these settings up to hard, but I'm going to keep the economy at medium setting. Now, medium is challenging on its own, but if we get harder and then you go to extreme, things get really, really difficult. Obviously, though, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert by any means. I can barely get things done, you know, in a very, very timely manner if I don't have my economy at, like, medium. But, in any case, we're going to be doing a little challenge today. We're only going to be using charcoal. We're only going to be powering the entire city via charcoal instead of, like, say, you know, coal thumpers or coal mines, etc. That's the only thing we're going to be doing. Second, we're going to try doing this with only one automaton. We're going to try our best to only do this with one automaton. Or maybe we'll build a few more, I don't know. But we're going to try to do this with only charcoal, and we're going to try our best with only one automaton. I'm going to try doing this with only the one automaton. You'll see what I mean. Let's get started.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Alright, so I decided to cut ahead, skip the cutscene, because really it's just saying we left London, we decided to come to this new place that hope pushed us forward, etc, etc. I may do something there, but for now, this is the new home. Let's see. We fled from London. I'm just gonna do on the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach this site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. Alright. So yeah, sorry if the game lags a little bit. You know, it's hard to record this, etc. This is our generator. This is all we have right now. Okay, fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Okay, I'll do that in a bit. But for now, let's take a look at what we got. Alright, so we got some coal deposits here. We got some piles of coal lying around. These coal piles will help feed the generator for the initial like week or so. All this will last us, you know, if we ration it carefully, we can make everything here last at least 7 days, give or take. But eventually we're gonna suck these resources dry. And the first thing we're gonna need is to prepare ourselves. So let's see. We got 80 people. Let's open up our book of laws. We gotta go for extended shifts here. You can't really see it, but we gotta get to extended shifts, so we're gonna make everything work. So we're gonna assign emergency shifts first. I don't know why we need emergency shifts before extended shift. Personally, I'd like those two swapped first, but it is what it is. I think we should go for extended shifts first, then emergency shifts. But emergency shifts will allow us to have our people work 24/7 with the chance that they may, you know, die from overwork. But let's get started. Let's start harvesting some of this stuff. So we're gonna need lots of wood. So we're gonna start harvesting that. We're gonna have 5 people working the steel wreckage. And then we're gonna have the rest of our people harvesting the wood. And we don't really need to stockpile coal for the generator. You'll see why in a bit, but that's going to be a nightmare right there. Temperature's going to drop 2 levels and it's going to be really bad for us. So without further ado, let's get started. So there goes all our people working. Man, this game is so beautiful. 24 hours on the job. Insane! That's our lot. I'm sorry about this, guys, but we need to get working. Alright, first things first, now that we have wood stockpiled, I'm going to start establishing some tents. I'm going to tell you people, these tents are not exactly something we want to be living in, but for now, they're at least something to keep us going in this heat, in this cold. Now that that's done, now that we have some more wood and steel, let's start scavenging more. We're going to use resource pits to start gathering this stuff more efficiently. And I'm going to plant the next one right there. So that's going to cut right there. Don't have a lot of wood, so we're gonna have to wait for more wood. Alright, we got more wood, so let's start grabbing it. Okay, so this will plant it right there. This is barely gonna touch that. Okay. Okay, now that we've gotten more wood, I'm gonna pull these people off and start building the stuff because work shift's about to end and we're gonna need to start working really quickly. So, alright, now that that's established, let's get this workshop up because workshop is gonna be what we'll need to build and research stuff. You're out of steel, don't worry. just like that,
Workday ends. It's time off.
workday has ended, so the time is off. Alright, so that's gonna be first. You know, things are looking pretty good. This is how I usually start things off, or start my games up when Frostpunk. The heating is off, of course, I know. People are afraid, but don't worry. Don't worry, people will not freeze. I mean, it's gonna be cold as fluff, but they won't freeze to death. Alright, let's see, what do I want first? Well, even though we need the beacon as soon as possible, we're gonna need faster gathering so that we can harvest everything quickly. Okay. Everyone is currently establishing their homes, etc. This is gonna be alright, right? People have their homes now, and people are sick. But fortunately we got this up. We got the medical post up and running as quickly as we could. And now we can get our extended shifts. This will allow us to...
A new law has passed.
Well, let me actually show you guys, because I skipped it really quickly. Extended shifts. Signing this makes it so that buildings can now work longer hours. Basically, it means they work an extra 4 hours, I think. Yeah, 4 hours. So they start earlier and then later. Unfortunately, it's a necessary sacrifice. It was things done. But don't worry, we'll make things better. We will try to make things better. As quickly as we can, hopefully. Okay.
The work shift starts.
Okay, we are doing good. We're starting day 2. Things are slightly improving. So let's see, what now? Obviously, we can't build another workshop because we've only got 15 engineers. 5 of them are each working in the medical posts, and the remaining 5 are working in the workshop now, so we can't use any more medical posts, etc. What's going on? Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't leave the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do what we can. This game makes you feel so depressed for the people here. I mean, basic things that we take for granted in this day and age, back then, just really makes you think what would we be like if we didn't have modern technology of today. Like, we take things for granted, like the internet, for example, but can you just imagine if you had the ability to communicate with people? Like, just pretend for a moment you did not have the internet, etc. So 1 second, I'm gonna do something really quick. This isn't gonna be, I'm not gonna build this, but I'm gonna use this as a placement holder for something later on. That's built. I'm gonna need to just start turning this into food, so... that'll do. Alright, faster gathering research, good. Next, just start working on, like, we could go straight into the beacon right now, but I don't need the I don't need to grab the beacon just yet. Instead, we're gonna grab the hunter's gear. And this is gonna be what we use to feed everyone here. Alright, now that we have stockpiles, or coal stockpile, we're gonna light the generator. And just really quickly, watch the snow. Watch the snow now that we've started up the generator. Watch as this, first of all, generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. The generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserve. Now, food. There'll be no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. That is indeed true. This generator, all our hopes and dreams in this colony, up back to these tents. Look at the snow melt. The snow melts so realistically in this game. If the generator does ever run out of coal, etc., if it ever runs out, it will actually kill off the city. This is the only thing that will provide heat. So the generator, as it says, the heart of the city, heat eats a circular zone around it and provides all steam hubs connected to it, or powers all steam hubs connected to it. If it shuts down, all heat zones disappear after a few hours. Alright, now that that's made, we're gonna have like 2 people working there. Even though it's running at 40% efficiency, don't worry. Even with like 2 people, that's more than enough to feed everyone. Also noticing that one person is still gravely ill. Alright, people from our convoy. With basic resources secured now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout the Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. Well, we already have a workshop right now. Alright. So this is gonna provide us with more food, etc. And the workshop or work shift has just ended, and now we can go for another law. We can sign another law. Now, let's see. We can either go for radical treatment if we want. We can really go for the gravely ill, etc. But we're gonna do something else. Now, for those of you who are interested, you can actually sign child labor laws. But we can only send children to safe labors at this time. If we were to sign this, we could sign this right now, and we could we can send children to work. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not a cruel person. I'm not a tyrant. I'm a decent person, and I would rather have kids working in school. Go back to child shelter. So we can actually sign the child shelters law instead. Children will be safer if they stay in a child shelter during the day, and they won't cause any mischief. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. But we can build the child shelter. Hope will rise. Providing children with a safe place in the child shelter gives a permanent hope bonus. We'll have to build a child shelter. That's the only negative. So that's what we're gonna do, and you'll see later on why. Now that we can build the child shelter.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
And this is why I wanted to plant it right there. Kids could do something useful during their time in the shelter. And what are they going to do all day? Watch the snowfall? No, I wouldn't mind doing that, but at the moment, can't really do anything else. Also, people are starting to get really hungry because, there was no food. So, child shelter is ready and the children are safe inside. People can work without worrying that something will happen to their kids. Alright. So, there's not a whole lot of wood and steel left there. And same thing there. So we're actually going to reduce those hours. Like, we won't change anything for the workshop here, but things are going to be getting colder soon. Alright, so there's a person working there. Okay, now that no one's working in that medical post, we can get those engineers and put them into the second workshop. Because trust me, research is the only thing that saves you in this game. Really saves you in this game. And even though these people don't like the extended work shifts, we got no choice. We got to get the research going as fast as possible because things are gonna get cold soon.
Work time. Get back to work.
All right, that's done. Now is when we're gonna go for the steam hubs. And as you can see, more people are getting hungry, but we are getting more food rations now. So even though I'm speeding up the game really quickly, things are starting to get better here. What's going on? Oh, child shelter. A note of thanks. We just wanted to thank you. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. In this new world you're creating, we can see things will be different. It was the right thing to do, and hope rises slightly. So yeah, another thing. Hope. Hope is the only thing that is really going to keep you going. Your people need to have hope in order to stick together. Because without hope, they will lose the will to keep going. And you don't want that to happen. Now, let's build this steam hub. Let's see. Can I get it with... no, that's going to be the best I can do right there. 2 people are sick. And we can introduce a new law. Now, as I said before, we could... Remember when I said that child shelters was just one way? The other way, as you can faintly see right there, was child labor, all jobs, in which children can work all the jobs. But this route that I chose, child shelters, now that they're in schools, etc., I can have them become either medic apprentices, which means they'll help medical posts and people will heal faster, or I can have them be engineer apprentices. And this will help the engineers, and they'll help research things faster. So either one works, but I prefer medic apprentices, simply because later on you need to get people working as fast as possible. Keep people back to working as fast as possible. So we're gonna go for the medic apprentices instead. Either one works, but it's whatever you want. People are hungry, yes I know. 3 shifts of people with overtime. I'm sorry people, but we need to get things, we need to harvest things if we're gonna be able to get things going. And even though it says that there's 40 people that are starving, we got plenty of rations right now, so we are in no small problems right now. We got nothing wrong. Nothing we can't solve. And now that the steam hub is up, things are starting to get toasty warm.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
Alright, just in time to get that done. Alright, now that the steam sawmill is up, now we can actually research the beacon. We won't be able to finish it tonight, but we will at least be able to get it done tomorrow. Now that people are able to eat, as you can see, the number is starting to go down drastically. And we're starting to run short on time, so I think we will leave it here, tacticians. I will see you all. We're actually going to name this. You'll probably see me save scum a bit. I will not admit, you do have to save scum if you want to be, optimal with what you want to do. And you'll see why later on. So, first of all, we're going to name this New London. There we go. And charcoal, and we're gonna do this charcoal. Alright, there. Just C. London C. There we go. It's London C. There we go. New London C. So I will see you tacticians next time. Bye-bye!